Okay, so left-handed people. I want to talk about left-handed. I made a video posting. I actually my boy Dan told me, man, that seems to be listing all the negatives about left-handed people. And I thought, you know what? That's what my search was based on. List all the negative things associated with the word left, right? And of course, specify left-handed people too. But he said, man, maybe just do another search and list the positives. So I decided to do that. And it's interesting. I'm glad I did because let's talk about it, man. Left-handed people. Uh, it's said that without my notes, right? I'm gonna try to remember it. So, left-handed people in history, man, is interesting, bro. Like Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and uh, Isaac Newton, a lot of other famous mathematicians and scientists and stuff like that, and innovative people, man. They're divergent thinkers in history, bro, have been left-handed. In fact, in exploration with like Apollo, all the Apollo astronauts, right, in history, most of them were left, like 20% of them were left-handed, right? Which is interesting, like including Neil Armstrong was left-handed, right? So like these guys were explorers and mathematicians and a lot of times Nobel Peace Prize winners and writers and directors and stuff like that. Real good writers and real good directors in history and Nobel Peace Prize winners were left-handed people, and I think that's interesting. That's a very positive thing, from the scientists and engineers like Nikola Tesla and mathematician like Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton and stuff. Like that's all very interesting stuff to note to list a couple of positive things about left-handed people. Um, and historically in war, like it said, I said something about the Bible in my last video, right? And my aunt corrected me. She said that my aunt Vero, she said, you know, you didn't know about the army, the 700 soldiers that were ambidextrous and they could go left-handed, bro. The cool thing about a soldier that was left-handed is he had a tactical advantage over the people he was fighting. In history, bro, like left-handed people are it's kind of cool that not only are they divergent thinkers and stuff and tactical thinkers when it comes to war and strategy and usage of weapons and stuff like that, they actually, like, it was tight. I imagine Achilles was probably left-handed or ambidextrous, which is either one. And the advantages of that are like crazy because I mean you can kind of put two and two together, like nowadays, like fencing, for example. Like if you're here and you can come here, right? And you get this guy off center, like if he ends up like this and you can switch hands, you know what I mean? Or you can boom, stab him from, like like if you in fencing, if you could go both hands, it's a tactile advantage. So you would imagine in war, you know what I mean? It's kind of cool to be left-handed. Uh, that being said, like tactical advantages in warfare, right? But also in boxing, bro. Like you don't want to, like in sports, like tennis and boxing. Like if you can go left-handed tennis, like you're Andre Agassi, fool, you're fucking Serena Williams and shit, bro. Like you're badass. Being able to go left-handed in sports, boxing as a sport, bro, which I think is more like combat, but as a sport, if Philly shell style and a southpaw, bro, people don't know how to fuck with that, bro. Like that guy, it's different because you're set up to block right hands, not left hands. You know what I mean? Like those fools are jabbing with their right hand. It's like, fuck, that's crazy. Anyways, that's one example. Let's talk about science of it, bro. The science of it without my notes, right? I'm trying to remember this stuff. Neural pathways, bro. People are actually, left-handed people are actually a lot better at driving, like, because they use both hemispheres of their brain, right? Their connectivity in their brain is something different to where they have like I think statistics show like 43 milliseconds faster than right-handed people. Like they can see a situation and match things faster than like if you're doing the match game, you know what I mean? They can match things quicker. They can, if you're on the road and your driver, the person that's driving the car, your passenger, and they're left-handed, they're more likely to swerve and avoid a kid that ran out in the street and recover faster than you would if you're right-handed. Or deer or whatever. You know what I mean? They can actually, because they're left-handed. You got to think somebody who's left-handed is probably ambidextrous in a world that's built for right-handed, or a little bit ambidextrous, because the whole world is built right-handed scissors and everything. I mean, this is probably go left-handed, but you know, for everything else, you know, it's interesting if you really think about the idea that they're faster thinkers and more divergent abilities. Well, getting off of divergent, I already stated that, but it's like statistics show they're 10% more likely to pass their driving test on the first try, which is interesting. My Aunt Vero said I passed it on my first time, and I was like, Jesus, like that's interesting, you know, what a queen could do. So a left-handed person, this is another interesting fact, they're actually more prone to faster recovery after a stroke, you know, and that makes sense to me. Like, you know, if I have a stroke and my right side of my body goes numb, right, and I'm left-handed, I guess didn't really fuck with shit, right? So my left hand, if I have a stroke and my right side goes numb right now, that's gonna suck, bro. Because I mean, although I can do stuff with my left hand, I don't generally do. Like, if you're right-handed, you ever brush your teeth with your left hand? You know what I mean? You ever wipe your ass with your left hand? Or if you're right-handed, like that's like doesn't seem like the safe thing to do, you know. But I guess I'd have to learn if I had a stroke. But not left-handed people. Left-handed people, they're more prone to like quicker recovery from brain injury as well. It's like because they have balanced brain hemisphere. They're quicker to to pop out of it, bro. Like it's crazy when it's there's actually some other study, right, that says left-handed people are they don't get as much arthritis or ulcers as right-handed people, which is crazy. I would like to know the math behind that. You know, maybe because they have balanced brain function, they get better blood flow and stuff. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe they regulate their tubes better in their body. Who knows, dog? Like, that's a trip. Bro, like the list goes on, eh? Like science and leadership, and out of the 8 last presidents that we had, 4 of them were left-handed, including Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George Bush Sr. You know what I mean? Like, there's more people that are left-handed that were presidents, you know? Yeah, like, I think when I posted that video, I posted all the negatives, but looking at the positives of left-handed people was like, Jesus, like these guys are kind of cool, you know what I mean? Like, I want to say at first I was like kind of feeling sorry for him because all the left-handed idioms and left-handed things that people were left-handed considered weak or broken or whatever, and it's like weird. No, I think those are just like I don't know, like it was not the right information. But although in the positive search I did list some positive things about left-handed people, when it was talking about math and stuff like that, and quicker positive, faster reaction time and quicker thought processes, right? Which is factual. These people are smarter, like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. These people had faster minds, bro. They were quick, you know. But it did say, even when I listed the positive things, it said that they have problem sometimes with linguistic skills, like speaking. Like sometimes people will have a stutter, you know. Like my boy Keyshawn, he's left-handed. He had a stutter. Homie, you did. And the crazy thing is like, I don't think that's like a tactical disadvantage. I think people who stutter, because their mind is working so fast, they already know what they're going to say, but it's just like, maybe because they're left-handed, their left hemisphere and their right hemisphere, their brain is working so fast that it trips up the system, bro. Because like I said, they have faster ability to problem solve and make matches and make shit work in their head. Like, you know, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton being some of them, you know what I mean? Like, these guys, you know, it's interesting what they call a weakness right there. But it did say something about mathematical skills. Like, when I was listening positive, it said the linguistics and it said mathematical skills, like problem solving. But it also said fucking some of the greatest minds in history, like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, were left-handed. So Google, you on some bullshit, Google. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's an exception to the idea and to the rule, and I also feel like left-handed people got a tactical advantage. I don't know, to state some of those things. I think I should start training myself to be a left-handed person, bro. To because if I'm being more productive with that side of my brain, just in case I ever have a stroke, or if I ever I mean, I don't want to get ulcers or arthritis for whatever reason. If you think about it, let me try to figure that one out. Ulcers or arthritis, right? If I'm using my left hand more, right, and not always using my right hand, then, or if I'm ambidextrous somewhat, well, then that right hand is going to not always get repetitive motion and arthritis. You know what I mean? That's how I try to figure that one out. But anyways, it's interesting stuff. What do you guys think? You know what I mean?